Welcome to all of you, and thank you for clicking on to join me today for this few moments of reflection together. I read an article recently from a physician who works at another city, but she serves COVID patients, and she's been at it hard and long and many hours, the same as all of you have. And she took time one day to pray and to pause, and she asked herself, what am I learning from this COVID pandemic? And she wrote an article, and I'd just like to share 5 points that she made in her article that I thought really spoke to me, and maybe they will to you as well. She said, what have I been learning? Well, the first thing that she said she learned is how interconnected we really are with each other throughout our world, not just in our own country, and how dependent we are on each other to make it through this in healthy and good ways. The second thing that she said she's learned is that humans are social creatures and that we really need the interaction and the support of one another, especially in times like this, more than maybe we've ever realized before. And so people have come together and have been reaching out to make sure that we can have those human and social connections together. The third thing that she said she's learned is that humans are so adaptive and so flexible, really, in the midst of uncertainties and in the midst of crisis. And she said, look at our own country, how even businesses and communities have paused and have retooled even their businesses and their manufacturing to make sure that they could help with the equipment we need, the PPE items that we need, and just to reach out, as many in our community have, to bring us treats and appreciation and write notes with chalk on our sidewalks. So people are adaptive and flexible in the midst of this. The fourth thing that she said she learned is the goodness of humanity, the goodness of people, even in times of struggle and darkness. And again, we see that here in our own community. We see that among you, our own associates and physicians who are willing to be flexible, to move, to meet the needs in different departments and in different ways, and maybe a different shift or add some extra hours to make sure that we're taking care of each other and that we're taking care of the patients who come to us. And the fifth thing that she said she's learned, and maybe the most important as I reflected on it, is that life is precious and also fragile. And so every day we need to look at our blessings and count them and be grateful for what we have, even if it's a small thing that's happening, a small caring kindness that someone has given us, even that we can go home and have a warm bed and some food and shelter as we go. Life is very fragile and yet precious. So as you hear these 5 things that this physician shared, what's the wisdom or the lessons of life that you've learned? If you would reflect on these in your own life, what would you add? What would you say? A couple things I'd like to suggest that might be helpful to us during this time, especially as we move toward Thanksgiving, is some of you may have the custom of writing in a gratitude journal, or maybe you've done it in the past and would like to restart, or maybe you'd like to learn. I've created, for our convenience, a gratitude journal, and I have asked the print shop to make several copies of these. It has a few pages in it just to get you started, and then maybe you might want to continue, but for maybe about 10 days, you could use this gratitude journal, and the pages in it ask you, what are the blessings that you're thankful for? What are the things that you have gratitude in your life for? Also, I've added, we count our blessings, but we also, it's probably helpful to name what's difficult for us. So in the pages, there's also a section to say, what's been difficult for me today and how have I managed it? On the back are several quotes about Thanksgiving and giving thanks, being grateful. These will be available in the print shop, and for those of you on campus, if you're off campus, send me an email if you're interested, and I can send some of these to you inter-house mail. Also, on the email that you saw and that you clicked on for this link, there's another link that just has some beautiful images of the fall and nature with some reflective music that you might want to click on at a later time and just sit quietly someplace for maybe 3 minutes and relax and enjoy that little video that's also available. So thank you for what you're doing to help each other, to help our patients. And I pray now for each of you that God will bless you with good health, with inner peace and joy as you continue to serve among us. You and all that you do is so integral and important for our health ministry, for our community, because those who come to us trust in you. They have confidence that you will provide the highest level and the most compassionate care for them in these very difficult times. So in closing, I say, please take care of yourself, your co-workers, and your family members in these difficult and challenging times. Amen.